This race was the most competitive fight we've had this whole season, and the fight for the podium wasn't just intense, it came right down to the last lap, with every move counting, so I suggest you stick around until the end to watch it unfold. So we were hoping for some good luck, as the last races have been interesting, but it looked like this race might be the one, with us putting a team with Jack and Nathaniel, both clean, fast drivers. And what's more, was despite some rain earlier in the day, the track was all but dry, but the race was about to be shaken up massively, before it had even begun. So as we sat in our carts ready for qualifying, it began to rain on and off, and this meant that we had to learn a constantly changing track, whilst trying to put our fastest laps in. Which inevitably led to a few offs. But despite the changeable conditions, we were able to find the grip, and we qualified P4. However, this meant that we were on the outside line, so making a move into turn 1 would be virtually impossible. Or would it? So it's lights out and away we go. We get a great reaction time. Are we going to be able to try it around the outside of P3? We are. Can we try P2? Not quite. We just don't have the overspeed. We don't want to get stuck on the outside line going into turn 2, because we will have about 7 carts coming down our inside and trying to get past us. So following Bert now down into turn 3. Are we close enough to have a look? Not quite going through 180, but he does get a better run out of the corner. So we're just going to drop back a little bit, meaning we won't have the chance to get up into P2 on the first lap. But cut to 2 laps later and Bert is right on the tail of the kart in front. He's going to send it down the inside at turn 1, but he overshoots the corner, so he's going to cut him back. Now side by side down into 180. We're getting close to them. Are we going to be able to capitalise on this? They're going to go very wide on the exit. Bert snuck through. We've snuck through. Can we even try and move on Bert? No, we're not quite close enough, but we're up into P2 now. Following Bert now down into Oak Tree. We get a wide line, so we get pushed out by P2, so he's now gone back ahead of us, but we're following him down into the last corner. We're going to try around the outside. It's not quite going to be possible. Will the switchback open a position? Not quite, but we are still slipstreaming down the main straight. And now we are firmly in the battle for P2. A battle we would resume just 1 corner later as he compromises his exit, bouncing over the curbs at centre. We're going to try it around the outside. We don't get the move done, but it's compromised his line. He's going to go out wide. We're going to cut back down on the inside, on the exit of 180, the exact same place we tried last lap. And now we are firmly in P2, and we're going to tell him to follow us as we try and catch Bert for P1. So despite having clear air for the rest of our 15-minute stint, and constantly trading fastest laps with P1, we just weren't able to catch up to him before our pit stop. However, we did pull a healthy gap to P3, meaning we were now firmly in the fight for the podium. So despite an ever-changing track, Jack and Nathaniel did really well in their stints, keeping us in the podium fight. And as we rearranged our stints to not have to use the seat liner as much, I was the one to bring the race home. However, as you can see here, P4 had a weight penalty, which promoted us up, and gave us about an 8-second gap back. It also now meant that I just had to catch and pass the car in front to be on the podium, a feat easier said than done, as they were 15 seconds ahead. But we got to work. So Jack hops out of the car, he's going to run around the back as fast as possible and tag us. We'll drop the seat liner in, not fumble it this time, hop in, the pedals are in the right place now. We're going to go out of the pit lane now. We should be in some clear air. You can see a car going around the corner now. And no, we're not. There is a back marker that's just gone round, but hopefully once we've cleared him, we should have a fairly good space to just put consistent laps in and try and catch up to P3. And we're gaining so quickly on this cadet, we might just make a move into the exit of 180. Yes, we do. He goes slightly wide. We're going to give him a thumbs up as we go past, and now we're into some clear air to catch up to P3. Hi, Editor Tim here. Something I've just noticed while watching back over this footage is the absolute crater-sized dent in the barrier at the exit of 180. Absolutely no idea how this got here, as it wasn't there in stint 1. Anyway, back to the video. So after a good 7 minutes of clear air and putting in fast times getting us within 5 seconds of P3, we ran into a slight obstacle. Well, 4 of them. But after quickly dispatching the 2 cadets on the exit of 180, it was on to the other 2 in equal machinery. So they're going to go side by side down into the last corner. Can we make it 3 wide? Not quite, but we are going to follow him around the outside. Now slipstreaming the orange suit. Can we get it around the outside as we go into turn 1? Yes, we can. That's up past him. And now we're just got to overtake this orange suit. And we are going to make it fairly quick, as following him now down into 180. He's going to go wide coming out of center. We're going to be super, super close out of 180. Now, through on the exit. That's past him. And now it's just clear air up to the podium places. But just 10 seconds later, something mysterious happened with my camera. Yeah, the camera died just before we caught up to P3. So I'll have to tell you how it went, because it was nowhere near being just a normal overtake. So with about 5 laps to go, we finally caught up to P3, and he was battling with a lapped car, which we used to our advantage, to get right up behind him. But just as we were about to make our move, disaster struck. The entire time, P5, remember the guy with the weight penalty? Well, he had been catching up the whole time, and as I made my move, he slipped past both of us, meaning despite getting past P3, we stayed 4th, and despite a last lap offensive, we weren't able to get past, meaning on track, we finished 4th, which was crushingly disappointing given how hard we worked this whole race, and how much effort Jack and Nathaniel had put in. But it wasn't over, as in catching up to us, the guy in P3 had racked up 3 contact warnings, meaning he got a 20-second penalty, dropping him back to 5th. So in the end, we did bring home some silverware, even if it wasn't in the exact way we would have liked. Huge well done to Jack and Nathaniel, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.